Now, I've talked about this a couple times on my channel, and I've talked many times about how much I hate politics. And one thing I hate more than just politics in general, when people try to feed their political views or try to find their own little political views from like media that has nothing to do with them. And one great example that's been like that for like months and months now has been Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade has been a perfect example of people trying to find and view and just take it and just put it in their own stupid political view about how Stellar Blade is objectively bad and how the sexualization of the main character is absolutely horrible. Like, I made a video about it and I was talking about how, you know, as gamers, yes, we do want great characters, and obviously, you know, great storylines is what we really want. But at the same time, if we had to choose between our characters being sexy and being fucking ugly, we want our characters to be sexy. I mean, when I'm playing a very good game, or even when I'm designing a character, like in a video game, and I have to guess to customize what I want to play as, I'm going to make them objectively hot. Of course I am, unless I'm just feeling a little bit stupid and feel like making my character look like an absolute abomination. But a lot of the times, if I'm just wanting to make a genuine character, I like to make him hot. But a lot of people had issues with this. And the main people that had issues with this was a lot of leftists. A lot of leftists had issues with this. And one of the big side of that, one of the big companies that I would say is more towards that political side of the spectrum is Kotaku. Kotaku has in recent times been known to be extremely terrible when it comes to feeding their own political views into video games and picking out and making terrible articles. Instead of making articles about the game itself, it's making articles about how politics are in video games and trying to skew video games and trying to make things out like everything's just extremely political when it's really fucking not. But it seems that, oh yes, how the turntables have now turned. It seems that Kotaku has become hypocritical of themselves, and one of the people that's become hypocritical would have to be one of the people who was on the biggest side, like the one of the people who was like holding the fucking pitchforks and the torch right at the front of the fucking at the front of the riots when it came to all the people that were against Stellar Blade. That's right. This person has been infamous on Twitter when it's come to this whole political standpoint in video games for months now. And that would have to be this lady, Alicia Merck. And I talked about her in my previous video about Stellar Blade and how terrible, how stupid this woman is. But she has recently just put out an article about Hades 2. Now, if you don't know what Hades is an action roguelike game, and it is an amazing game. I've played a decent amount of hours of Hades. I can't remember the last, like, I haven't played it. I have to admit, I haven't played it in a while. I haven't played it since 2021, but when it first came out, I did play a bunch of hours of it, and even some of my best mates have even have almost 100 hours on that game and have got almost every single achievement. But it's an extremely fun game, and I am well looking forward to a Hades 2. And you would think that, you know, Kotaku, being the gaming publisher that they are, they'd make an article about how good the game is looking and how great the game is going to be. But no. What is this Alicia Merck make an article about? About how Hades 2 is the kind of hot we need right now. And as you can see in the thumbnail of this article, is that I'm obviously going to have to blur it because YouTube, I definitely will not allow this to be on their platform. But as you can see to the left there, that is Aphrodite, the goddess of lust. And she's not wearing any fucking clothes. That's right. In this article, this lady talks about how we need this kind of sexiness in Hades and how Hades is bringing the right kind of hot to video games. Just a couple months ago, well, not even a couple months ago. Actually, let me retract that. Just earlier this month, she put out this. And this is regarding to Stellar Blade. That's right. This is one of her many tweets. And be my guest, go on this lady's Twitter and look through some of her old tweets about how much she hated Stellar Blade and how it was sexist and how it was misogynistic. And talking about, like, the one that baffles my brain is the third one right here, where she's talking about people like me who, you know, think that Stellar Blade 1, it generally looks like a great game. And also 2, the main character in it is fucking sexy as all hell. But she talks about how they want their women to be virtually silent, overly sexualized dolls in video games that they can jerk off to without having to wash their ass or clip their nails or show even a single attractive quality. Yes. But calling Aphrodite the goddess of lust mummy and talking about how it's good how stupid hot she is and that it's the whole entire point of her being sexy. And then also talks about how everyone in Hades is hot. It's got everything from twinks to bears to dommy mummies, scary daddies. Like, so having just some characters in a video game that's made in the Eastern culture, made from an Asian country who they have different standards compared to the West, make a video game like this where some of the characters, even the male character, like look at that male character in the background of this. You can't tell me that man looks like a sexy man. That's a sexy fucking man right there. Main character looks hot. The other characters look great. So that right there, bad. That there, terrible. But this, where even Aphrodite, yes, she's meant to be the goddess of lust. And it's good. The goddess of lust, goddess of love. And it's good, you know, that they're keeping to her how she's meant to be represented. But that's bad, and this is great. Having a lady half naked is great, but God forbid, God for fucking bid, that we have a character in a video game that's based off a real person. That's right. It's based off this woman right here. I want this lady to be my wife. That's all I'm saying, is that's how beautiful this woman is. Like, look how beautiful this woman is. I'm not just talking about, you know, the obvious in the picture, but even her, just her features in her face as well, beautiful. But when it comes to, you know, something being based off a mythological person that's not even fucking real, then it's sexy, then it's hot, then it's absolutely great. But God forbid that it gets based off a real human. Also, like how she retweeted this as well, saying that, so Kotaku originally put the tweet out about this article. Someone replied to it saying, and the difference between this and the hot stuff you attack is what exactly, you know, like E from Stellar Blade. And then this person reposted saying, amazing response considering this is literally the whole point of the post. Now, I'm going to say this. This is why she finds Hades 2 sexy and great and the kind of hot that we need, but then find something like Stellar Blade, who is being modeled after a real life human, and from countries, I think it's Korean. I'm pretty sure it's Korean, not Japanese. From a Korean country who have completely different beauty standards, completely different standards, and the way that they do things all together is because one fits her agenda and one fucking doesn't. That's all it is. That's all it fucking comes down to. That's all it is because she finds this one sexy and this one doesn't. And she's going to find a way to make sure that this one fits her agenda because there's a dude who's a god and he's in a fucking wheelchair. And because it's got a big, strong woman who, I mean, let's be honest, even I would say it, yeah, step on me. And I'm not here to say that Hades 2 is bad for doing this. Fuck it, I love it. Good. You should have all these different types of like sexy characters. You should have these good looking big characters. I mean, they're meant to be gods and goddesses. That's fucking great. Yeah, that's what they're meant to be. They're meant to be goddesses. They're meant to be gods. They're meant to look and their presence is meant to be like a god or a goddess. That's how they're meant to be. But if someone wants to go ahead and put a sexy character in a video game, then all of a sudden it's fucking bad. I saw a comment about this, and usually I fucking hate this, and usually I can't stand when people use the race card. A lot of the times when people use the race card, I feel like they're using it just because they're fucking dumb. Because they can't like actually argue against someone. They don't have a point to go against someone. So what do? They just pull out the fucking race card. They say, oh, you're being racist. But I saw someone say that it's almost like they don't like Asian people. And I kind of believe them. It's almost like they fucking don't. Like they don't like the Asian people's standards. They don't like because another country has different morals, different standards, different beauty standards, different ways that they do things. They're racist towards them. And you know what? I kind of fucking believe it. It's really funny how the people who try to fight racism and diversity and implement diversity the most are actually the ones who are really against it the most. It really, really fucking seems to be that way. And before I end this video, I also want to post this as well. It's not just Hades 2, but I also talked about how the Fallout TV show is sexier than the games, and talking about how sexy the Fallout TV show is. Like, oh my fucking god. So it's fine when it's from a Western culture and you like that type of media, but when it's all of a sudden it's not from your media, it's bad. So I would like to hear what you guys have to think about this down below. That's it from me. Peace out.